Islamists tried to relive the magic of Paris, hitting Jakarta, bombing a Starbucks and other low-security targets. They left many bombs. They were going big, but it didn't happen. They wanted to kill hundreds and only killed 2 innocents. So thankfully, we can still talk about the Powerball, the Oscars, the debates, because it happened over there and they screwed up. If it had been here and all the bombs worked, we'd be wall to wall. Remember San Bernardino? Good, because everyone else forgot. The political pivot to gun violence magically erasing that event. But with Jakarta, we know the drill. Where there is vulnerability, there is violence. And while the sight of heavily armed police feels comforting, it's always after the fact. A warm blanket does little for a corpse. The logical response, if terrorists target the non-secure, it seems logical to harden soft targets by encouraging individual protection. Politicians and celebrities get this. Guns stop Huns. Should we return to the days of the Wild West? Why not? A cattle town in the late 1800s averaged 1.5 murders a season. It's way higher now in the same towns, not to mention big cities. Where there was no law, there was an armed ma and pa. It's math. If time is what lies between the threat and your rescue, you must then solve for X. And get this, X is guns. Finally, there are reports that 7 people died in Jakarta. That is a lie. 2 people died and 5 pieces of garbage. They should never be mentioned in the same breath as their victims. By the way, Melissa, this happened 2 days after an ISIS attack in Istanbul, which killed 10 Germans. We didn't hear much about that either. Is it because we just, when it's far away, it's far away?
I don't know. I think we're becoming numb to this because it happens so often, but the majority of Americans, 64%, disapprove of the way the president is handling ISIS and terror and is afraid, and that's why you're talking about guns. And I would say, I'm going to attempt to do an analogy here. This is a little bit like you have the kid who comes in the night terrified because they heard a thump out somewhere. President Obama is the parent who says, "You idiot, go back to bed. It's nothing." Instead, it's your job to go out and check out the noise, address it, deal with it, talk about it, take it by the shoulders, whether it's real or imagined. He's just saying, look, you idiots, look in the other direction. It's nothing to be afraid of. And it's not working. Americans are afraid.
You know, and Eric, the pattern's obvious. They target, well, Starbucks. What does Starbucks represent?
Values. Can I point something, the Istanbul attack?
Yeah.
What the retaliation, Turkey went back and killed 200 ISIS fighters in Syria and Iraq, and that is a game changer. If Turkey gets involved against ISIS, boy, quite a bit. It will help quite a bit. So I don't know what their strategy is, ISIS. I mean, I know we don't have one, but I don't know what their strategy is.
Well, it's suicidal.
I guess so.
Yeah, well, it's Nirvana. It doesn't matter. It's the kamikaze ideology of the modern era.
Right. Well, look, I think there's a lot of hyperventilating here, but I was about.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
I was about to embrace you until you got, because I think that you're right. We should pay attention, even though it's overseas and it's hard. But you've got to pay attention if you want to stop and understand the scope and power of ISIS. When you get the guns, I think, hey, did Greg hear it was a bomb?
Yes.
And so guns are going to help you against a bomb?
You can shoot somebody.
Oh, get out. Come on.
Really? You know, I like the idea is if somebody comes with a bomb, don't defend yourself.
No, but how are you going to do a gun?
You defend yourself.
You
blow their brains out.
I see.
You redecorate the ceiling with their brain matter.
I see. Matt Dillon and Miss Kitty were going to stop a bomb with a gun.
A gun can stop a lot of things.
Oh, I see.
I can show you some pictures.
Okay.
Kimberly?
But he's still hung up on the war on guns, and we keep trying to explain to you, Juan, that terrorists will find a way, whether it is the pressure cooker, whether it is the suicide vest, whether it is
a weapon. Shot 2 people in the street.
It's the person who is in possession of it and their intent what matters. So what are you going to do? Lock up people's intent? Ban it? Give intent a background check?
No, I just don't want people saying, oh, everybody has a gun, and I'll defend myself when the bad guy comes in, because guess what? The bad guy and you will start shooting, and I get shot.
Oh, geez.
We wouldn't even
so
be having this conversation if we had a commander-in-chief who was in charge and keeping us safe. We wouldn't even need to talk about it.
The terrorists shot 2 people in the street.